Story is about corporate America. Have been doing pretty well for the past 20 years, working for a Fortune 500 company. Um, Being a graduate from a private school and a product of university, I was no surprise that I was working in a senior executive executive and climbing to the top of my career ladder. I was like a rocket ship uh, to success was unstoppable. However, here am I holding a pink slip that I was handed 5 minutes ago by my boss. Um, mm, then he asked me to come into his office in 15 minutes to discuss the details. Sorry to break it with you, but your contract is terminated, he said. Half of your half of department you are running will be laid off too. Times are tough, he said, and recessions is forces us to downsize, and we will save extra money. The company doing what is in the best interest. And don't take it don't take it personal. But I have 3 kids and mortgage, so I have something to lose. Uh, all of it, and on the top of that, today is my birthday. Can you imagine that I feel right now? What a blow in the back. Who would have thought? My services are no longer needed here. Should I start looking for another job after I leave this building with all my belongings in the cardboard, um, uh, carrying away my personal excellence and my pride? How do I get back to the market after being shown the door such a ruthless way? At least I'll get a generous severance package. I negotiated my way to the golden parachute agreement with my employer a few years ago. I'm going to invest this money or want to take my family and kids and go on vacation to Hawaii. I haven't been on vacation in years. Sunshine and money will heal all my wounds. I worked in this company 20 years. I remember when I came here first time, I was 26 years old when I got this job. After I earned my degree, I started to look for a job. I sent hundreds of CVs and had a dozen job interviews. A few employers were ready to hire me, but I wasn't sure, so didn't I didn't take their offers. So I going on to search for appropriate position. Then one day I saw this job position. I see this job posting in a local business magazine. It seemed promising, um, decent pay, good insurance benefits, and solid retirement plan and other perks. So I had to just write skills and level education level. So I applied for this job and sending them my resume and cover letter. The next week I got a phone call from their secretary, and she said if I still interested this position, I would be interviewed tomorrow. Interview was short. I answered their questions, and then I told them about my academic achievement and internship and general background. At the end of the interview, in my surprise, I was offered to a job. They said that I was the best candidate so far, and I'm hired. And they asked me to be ready to work hard and prove I can handle my responsibilities. So this is how I land a job. I was promoted several times, and eventually I rose to be a head of management and sales. I worked 24/7. Um, Not literally, of course, but I never thought I had enough rest. My typical morning work day started about around 7, and I checked my email and responded some the most urgent ones, and then I had a cup of coffee and headed straight to my office because I worked 9 to 5. I scheduled meetings, I arranged conference calls, I gave a product presentation, I ran a financial report, I turned phone calls, I spent my evenings go to business meetings and corporate parties, and apart from that, I managed I managed a team of 150 people, part half of whom are going to lose their job. What would they say to me? Several times I was on the edge of exhausted, overworked, and sleep deprived. My parents were worried about me. My mother worked as a teacher, um, but she had to quit due to health issues because of her workaholism and poor work and life balance. So she didn't want. She was afraid the same could happen to me. My father worked at the factory for the whole his life. One time he said to me, if I was unhappy, I would do at my work. I would do something about it. He was involved in the labor union activity, so he go on a strike. He organized a strike. Workers were not happy, so they would go on the strike to demand better working conditions. So my father organized the strike to decrease their 24 shift mm, on have a died nights on basis. 24 shift they wanted to decrease, and they will work 12 hours the day night shift, preserving the same uh, pay. Then my father was promoted to a supervisor at the factory. He worked the whole his life at the same factory, and he made a successful career. Now he retired 10 years ago. Um, but I couldn't go on a strike. Corporate white collar America take no pity those who are tired. How how do you deal with stress and burnout by working overtime? My answer always was work more. Taking a day off in our company was frowned upon in our environment. So uh, at some point I was the things become uh, unbearable, so I would take a sick leave and go back to work on Monday. I was on the verge of giving a 2 weeks notice because of my boss. He yelled at me in front of the whole office for no specific reason. But my wife was on maternity leave then, and resigning was not an option. I couldn't stop working and leave my family without any income. So I never thought I would end up like this, getting dismissed for my job. All these years, I everything that I've done for the company. Oh, I won't stand here. I will go to my boss office, and I want to do that I always wanted, to tell him that he is a jerk. He never liked me, and I never liked him either. I want to ask him. After all, I know him very well, and have I been out from my position in a favor of his nephew or some relative. I'm going to his office right now, and I will let him know what I think about him. I'm coming in. The light are off, and the step. As soon as I step in, there is an explosion of the confetti pieces raining down on me, a bunch of balloons, and um, over the table, and the banner over the table, happy birthday, and my boss and all coworkers yelled, surprise. I can't believe my eyes. Am I dreaming right now? That was all really birthday prank. Oh, ha ha ha! He's really fell for it. There is no way we are gonna fire you, Patrick. My boss is patting me on my back. With his face is red with laughter. I turn slowly and I leave the room. That's it. I quit now. This time for real.